Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a requested video, and actually one I don't know why I didn't think of myself before, but I'm doing all my favorite brushes, which is basically all the brushes I use on a day-to-day basis, what's actually on my vanity, and yeah, the ones I can't stop using and I really, really love. So unfortunately, they're not clean. Sorry. Some of them are clean because I haven't used them again because I have doubles of some of them, but for the most part, they're not clean. Don't judge me. I didn't feel like cleaning it just for this video. So, I mean, I should. It's been a couple weeks already, but I'm so lazy to do that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's go ahead and start with the face brushes that I use. So my all-time favorite brush right now to use, this one's actually clean, is the It Cosmetics All Over dual-ended brush, or I don't know what it's called. It brushes for Ulta, so I don't know if it's exclusive to Ulta, if you can only get it at Ulta, but it's this brush right here. It's dual-ended. I love this brush for foundation. It's just my favorite brush to apply foundation with right now. I've been using it nonstop. I actually got a second one because I love it so much during one of the Ulta Beauty sales. That way, whenever my other one's super dirty, I can just use this one and not have to worry about my brush being super dirty. And then the other side has this nice like precision, it's the precision side. So what I usually use this for, I don't use it too often, but what I did used to use it for is the under eye concealer that I put on from Becca. That's basically what I would use it for. You can also use it to contour the nose if you wanted, or specifically place some kind of pigment or cream product on your face if you wanted to, but for the most part, yeah, you could use it for concealer. It's perfect for that under eye area, but that's what I mainly use it for when I do decide to use it. That's just for my under eye area. But yeah, that's like my favorite, all-time favorite foundation brush to use. Definitely recommend it. All right, so this brush is from Morphe. It is the Morphe G40 brush. I have two. I used to use it also for concealer, which is still a great concealer brush. I just use a sponge now, which is what I prefer for my concealer. This I use to apply my contour, and I usually wear cream contour of some sort or liquid contour, and it's just really, really nice to blend that out and really pack that on and, you know, blend it into the skin without taking away any type of pigment. It's very dense and fluffy, which is really good for the pigment whenever you're trying to pick it up and blend it out. So I just put it right here, blend everything out all over my forehead, on my chin, anything like that, because it's not so big. It's kind of like an all over color that it's doing, or putting on your face. It's a little bit more precise. So it means I can get my contour more precise and exactly where I want it instead of having it kind of just be a big blob. So I really love this one, and it's also a really great one for concealer. Okay, so just going from contour to concealer for my highlight, this is what I use. It's one of the best beauty sponges. I use this over the Beauty Blender just because it is more affordable and it's pretty much the exact same thing. I love how dense it is, but it's not too dense that it's not going to like blend your product in really good. This beauty sponge is the Sonia Kashuk sponge, which you can get at Ulta, and they have, or not at Ulta, at Target, and they have like packs of them. They have mini versions if you want a more precise blend, anything like that. And this brand is just really, really good. Or it's a really good beauty sponge to have, and it's just what I've been using. It's super dirty, as you can see, but that tells you I do use it every single day. And for the most part, I use it dry. I really like using it dry just because it's a little bit more precise instead of whenever it's wet and spongy, but it's more me being lazy than anything when I use it dry. But yeah, really, really good one. I think it's like $8. You really can't beat that price. So yeah, this is my favorite tool that I use to blend out my highlight. Since we're talking about highlight, let's go in with this highlight. And what I normally have been using lately is the like liquid or cream highlights, and to apply those I use this brush. It's from Morphe. As you can see, it's kind of like a fluffy, I don't know, like almost like a large blending brush, but for your face. It's the Morphe M510. I really, really love this. I use this whenever I'm applying my liquid highlighter. It's just really good to place it exactly where you want it and then kind of blend it and buff it out. So I really have been loving the Becca Cosmetics Champagne Liquid Shimmering Skin Perfector, whatever it's called, liquid highlight. And this is what I use to blend it out. So I just go like this, tap it on, and then I will kind of press it into the skin and blend it out. And it just gives me a really nice application. Also works really, really well for powder highlights. I have actually like two of them yeah, so I have multiples of this one just for when I decide to wear my powder highlight. I just wet it, put it on, really good to blend with as well. And then for blush, so I have two different brushes. One is for my cream blushes and one is just for my powder. For my cream blushes, I love this brush. It is from Morphe. It's the M427 brush. It's a dual-ended stippling brush. Really, really nice. Picks up cream product perfectly and just applies it. I like to tap it into my skin versus just swiping it on, and it just applies really, really nice. Doesn't take away my foundation or anything like that. But yeah, really, really pretty. Or it gives you a really nice application for your cream products, which I'm sure you could use this for cream contour as well. I just haven't used it as that yet. I think it would give you a more diffused look if you wanted to try it with this one, or for your foundation as well. I think this would be a nice brush to use if you wanted to kind of sheer out your foundation if it's kind of full coverage, and it would give you a more natural looking type of foundation look. I also have two of those. And then for my powder highlight, I use the Morphe M530 brush. It's just a really nice, fluffy powder brush, not too big because I do kind of like to place my foundation a little bit more specific, or not my foundation, my blush a little bit more specifically. I don't want a big, I don't prefer the big fluffy brushes, face brushes that you can use, because I just feel like it kind of puts it everywhere. And I want my blush to kind of just be exactly where I want it and not blend it down below or come up high into my highlight or anything like that. So this is a really great one. This is my main one. I don't really think I'll ever change for it just because it does the job so well. And now for my powder, contour, bronzer, whatever you want to say, I use this angled fluffy brush. This one is, I believe, from MAC. It is the 168. Yeah, 168 brush. Morphe also has a very similar one, but because I have this one, this is the one I use. It's just a really great fluffy brush. It's really nice and dense, so it picks up color well, and it also is a little bit more fluffy to where I can diffuse it, because for my contour and my bronzer, I don't want it super precise whenever I'm setting it or whenever I'm putting it on. I want it a little bit more blended and less like it's just a straight line on my face. So I really like to use this one. Before I move on to eye brushes, there are actually two more brushes that I like to use for my face. Well, let's say one really. But this is the Sonia Kashuk domed concealer brush, and it's just kind of like almost angled a little bit. And it has like duo fibers, really dense and more precise. I use this for my nose contour. It really just packs it on exactly where I need it without blending it down or up if I don't want it to. So it really just picks up product and puts it on my nose perfectly. So that's what I use. Super affordable too, you can get it at Target. And then this is a Morphe, like a mini concealer brush, if you can see. And it is the Morphe M421. So this one I use, say I want to clean up my eyeliner like I did today, I will use this brush to pick up a tiny bit of concealer and really precisely clean it up and make a nice line. Or if I'm doing a cut crease, I put that in, or I use this to place the concealer where I want my cut crease to start and end, and it really just gives you a very nice, precise line of concealer, or however you want to do it. I used to use a bigger one, but I find this smaller one just really gives you more control of how to place the concealer or how you want to use it. Basically, I don't know how to explain it, but I really don't know how to explain it other than it really gives you a nice, precise concealer application. As you can see, most of these brushes are from Morphe, because I just really love Morphe. Their brushes are really amazing and affordable. Okay, so let's start with the blending brushes. These are the main ones. So for my blending brushes, what I really like to use, because this is pretty much the first brushes I pick up when I'm doing my, or any kind of eye look, just because I always start with the crease color first and then work my way from there. And these are the three main brushes that I like to use. I do have double O some of them, so yeah. But this one is from Morphe. It is the the R38. It's just a very nice, more fluffy blended brush. It gives you a bit of a more diffuse application versus really packing on pigment. So it's really great for blending things out and diffusing products so it doesn't look super sharp. And then this is a Morphe M441. So I will use this to kind of just blend everything together. I keep it mostly clean, as you can see. Maybe you can't, kind of looks a little dirty, but for the most part, it's really clean. I use it when I really don't want to apply too much product either. It's just kind of like a hint. This is the perfect brush for that, in my opinion, because it's a little bit more, less densely packed, it's a little bit more fluffy, and the fibers are a little bit longer, or the hairs are a little bit longer, whatever it's called, are longer. So it gives you less control, which means it blends out better, I guess, is how I think of it. And then I have my good old trusty more precise blending brush. This is the one I use to really pack on pigment and then blend it out. This is pretty much the one I always start off with whenever I'm doing a look, and it is the Morphe. I don't know if I'm gonna know what color this is or what brush this is because the colors come off. I'll look it up and I'll put it right here and in the description, but this is from Morphe. It's from the Rose Gold collection as well. So, but yeah, it's just a more dense packed, shorter fiber or bristles. So it really packs on pigment like you want to, and then you can blend it out. Just really, really good. I mean, you probably don't need all three of these, but I like to have them. Oh, and then there's actually another little blending brush that I have. This is it's not super dense. It's a little bit more fluffy, but it's thinner. So that means it's not gonna blend so outward, or the amount of blending isn't gonna go so much. I guess, I don't know. It's just a thinner one where I can really control how blended out I want any kind of pigment or product that I put on my eyes. And this is the M514. And it's just a little bit thinner, you know, still longer fiber, so it really just blends everything out nicely without kind of spreading out the color too much like the other ones would. And then for my eyes, the other brushes I really love to use are these two. So this one is a nice fluffy eyeshadow brush, which is really perfect for just kind of packing on any kind of color that you want. Gives you a little bit more flexibility if you don't want to pack it on too much when you're first starting out, because it is a little bit more fluffy. And it's the Morphe M209. It looks like this. It's a really nice fluffy eyeshadow brush that I think everyone should have, and I really love this one. And then if you want a more like, say you're using glitter or shimmers or anything like that, and you really want the pigment to pop when you place it on your eyelid, I definitely would recommend the Morphe M167. It's a very dense, thin shadow brush, and it really packs on pigment, really packs on glitters or anything like that to give you that perfect look whenever you're really kind of trying to do it up a little bit more. Definitely what I use whenever I'm putting on shimmers or pigments or anything like that, because it just makes them pop out that much more. Oh, I forgot about this one. This is one of my favorite blending brushes. So this is a very small blending brush. As you can see, it's very precise, and I use this, say I want not a cut crease look, but almost like that type of effect, but more blended. You don't want the harsh line. This is what I would use to really pack on pigment in the crease without looking too blended. So this is the one I like to use. This is the M506 by Morphe. Really good brush, like I said. Say I want, you know, I already put my transition shade, and then I want a really deep color right here, but I don't want it to look super sharp. This is the one I would use to pack it on and just kind of blend everything out. Really, really love this brush. And I hope I'm explaining these, or the way I use them good or really well for you guys, to where it kind of makes sense what I'm doing. I feel like I'm not, but let me know. All right, so next we have some pencil brushes, and I have more of a variety from here, sort of. So this is just your regular kind of standard pencil brush that really packs on pigment. I use it for the waterline right here, or in the crease when I'm really packing on pigment, just kind of like a line and really want it nice and pigmented. I'm saying that so much, but I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but that's what I use it for. Is I really just like dig into the pan and just apply it wherever I want it to kind of get a more precise application, and then I'll blend it out afterwards. But to really pack on pigment, that's where I would use this one. This one as well does pretty much the same thing. It's from It Cosmetics, for It Brushes by Ulta. It is the Airbrush Priscilla. It's the Airbrush Precision Shader Brush, I believe. So it looks like this. It's just another pencil brush. Just like this one is how I would use it. It's not as pointed, it's a little bit more dome shaped. So it gives you a little bit of a wider application when you do use this one. And then when I want a little bit more of a fluffy or less precise look, but I still want to use a pencil type brush, I use this one from Morphe. It is the M321. As you can see, it's fluffy, but really dense and short. So it works pretty much like a pencil brush. All right, and then for my brows. So for my brows, I really don't use a brush except for maybe this type of angled brush, which this is actually an Anastasia Beverly Hills dual-ended brush. So it has the spoolie right here, which I do use with soap to just kind of make my brows look super fluffy. And then on the other side, whenever I want to create hair-like strokes, or if you just want to fill in your brows, this is what you would use, is this nice, really precise angled brush side. It's really, really good. So this is just a really good brush to have. I definitely use the spoolie for the most part more than the alien brush, because I do use a like marker type of, what is it? I use like the, yeah, like a marker type of brow product to draw in the lines. I just feel like they're a little bit more precise, but this one, since it's super thin, would give almost the same effect. I hope you can't hear my mom in the back because she's just so loud when she talks to people on the phone. Oh, I almost forgot about this. Okay, so whenever I'm setting my under eye area, the rest of my face, this is the brush I use. This is the Sigma tapered highlighter brush, which I don't use it for highlighter, but you could. It's the F35. So it looks like this. It's really dirty right now. And it's just kind of pointed at the ends, which means it's perfect for applying that translucent powder right under your eye and kind of just spreading it out, and also cutting your contour and making it really nice and sharp if you want to, and also if you want to put the powder right here. All right, and then I also really like this angled brush, except it was from, I don't remember what collection, but I'm sure they have one at Morphe. I will link it down below instead of this one. It was part of their one of their collections, and it's just a regular angled brush. I wouldn't use this for a brow brush though, just because it is a little bit more, it's not as skinny, I guess. It's a little bit thicker, so it wouldn't really give you nice precise hairline strokes. What I use this for is if I'm going to be using like a shadow liner or anything like that, or to smudge out some eyeshadow, but I want it really close to the lash line. This is the the brush I use. It's just a really nice brush. You really can't say too much about it because it does what it needs to. Oh, one more brush, and then I think that's pretty much it for my main brushes, my favorite brushes that I love to use. It's this one. It is from Sigma. It is the small tapered blending brush. It's the E45, and as you can see, it has a pointed tip. It's a more precise blending brush, but if you want, say you want a strong color in the crease, and then more diffused on the outer parts of it, and you don't want to really diffuse that really strong color, this kind of keeps it there while blending the rest out and blending it in, but still keeping basically whatever shape or thing you created. I don't know how to explain it right. Say you have a cut crease. This kind of focuses more on everything that's above the cut crease while still blending in a little bit of that cut crease, but focusing really more on the outer parts of your crease. I mean, I have this lip brush from NYX. Don't really ever use it except for when I do, on the off chance, use a lip palette. But yeah, this one's a good one. I mean, can't go wrong with that one. Oh, one last one. I keep saying that. So this is the Morphe R43 brush. It's just a small, short shader brush. And this brush is perfect for the waterline area, or if you want to smudge anything out like eyeliner or anything like that. I mainly use it for eyeshadow, but if I had another one, I would use it to smudge out eyeliner or anything. But yeah, this is what I use to just place exactly where I want my eyeshadow on the waterline. So it's not super blended down or anything like that. It really just puts it where I want it. So definitely a must-have for me. Yeah, guys, those are all my favorite brushes. Those are what I use pretty much every single day. It's what I keep on my vanity. I hope this video helped you out, or kind of shows you what brushes I use and how I use them, and how there's different ways to use everything. I mean, I use them this way. There's a whole bunch of people that might use certain brushes different ways. So yeah, if you did like this video, remember to hit like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.